to Capital A Trading and welcome to the case study. This week I'm just going to quickly show you about the NZD Swiss franc trade that was mentioned on the 3rd of April on my Forex Weekly. Now, around 10 days later, we're going to see how it's progressed and see how you could have possibly caught on to a very good investment opportunity. So with that being said, if you trade, if you take investments, hit that subscribe button in the bottom right corner. Stay up to date with the Forex Weeklies out every Sunday. And of course, if you want to take your trading further, check out the website www.capitalatrading.co.uk. Now with that being said, we're going to take a look at what was previously said about that NZD Swiss franc.
Another new entry. This is going to be number 8. It's the NZD Swiss franc. Now what I want to speak about is that 65 level. Last week, price has come into this area, hit the level perfectly, as you can see, started to make that contract picture, started to show a sign of struggling, and then started to make a 100 pip push to the downside. So as I'm just breaking down the time frames now, this is the scenario that I believe price will come and interact with again this week. As you can see, it's already played off the foot for my students who would know. So it's come to the base of this candle here and started to show signs of struggling around the 64,700, and then it made that 100 pip push to the downside. This week, all I want to see is price get back up inside the body, hopefully around the 65 level, 64,800, and again start to show them signs of struggling. So this was here for around 20 hours, 24 hours, and then started to make its movement. So again, be patient, let price get back up to there. A Swiss franc is a safe haven currency, so again we can expect to see that start to gain some strength later on in the week. So let's just see that 64,800 to the 65, look for the signs of struggle, and then hopefully long term, I believe it wants to get back towards the 60 level, below this area here, where there's going to be loads of liquidity, loads of stop losses, loads of reason for the market makers to bring the market down there. So long term, we're looking at around a 500 pip move. It won't happen in a week. It may take a month, but this is the start of the second quarter, and this is things that will usually happen around this time of the year. So again, keep an eye on that area around the 65. Again, if you can hold it to the 60, even better. NZD Swiss franc, that's number 8.
Okay, so that was what was previously said on the 3rd of April. Now, let's see how it's progressed from there.
We're now on the 12th of April, and what you can see is price progressed back into that area and starts to show the same signs of struggling, also known as a contract being entered in the area by the financial institutions. So just take note of how it's hitting that 65 level, that key number, and just instantly showing signs of struggle. Now, as I go on to the 1 hour time frame, what's more interesting is understanding who's doing it. Price first gets back towards this area around the London Open at 8 o'clock. Later that day, a New York Open, and price starts to flush down. It then sits for the night and pushes back the next morning. London Open here, then the New York Open is here. Price from that moment has now flushed down around 120, 150 pips. Now, I'm going to show you quickly what you could have done money-wise. So, for example, we had a 30 pip risk here. So let's say you're ready to risk 128, 130 pounds on the trade. By the end of the week, price has progressed around 120 pips, and that's something you'd be seeing on your trading account. So, for example, you're happy with that. You want to shave half of the trade because, like I spoke about, that long-term target around the 60 level, if price does continue climbing down and get towards there, then you would have a 500 pip move. So back to the calculator now. You've got this. You can shave the trade in half. Close 25. Obviously, that will take you to banking 256 pounds. You can then let the rest of that ride, and hopefully, if it goes to the 500 pip amount, you would then have over £1,000 just by holding the trade for around 3 to 4 weeks, hopefully, if it gets there. I'll keep an eye on this. I'll keep an eye on the NZD Swiss franc, and I'll be updating it in my Forex Weekly this Sunday. Be sure to check that out. I think something's going to happen at a certain level again to continue this move. That was the NZD Swiss franc.
Okay, that's all from me this week. Again, that was the NZD Swiss franc case study, available every Sunday on my Forex Weeklies. Be sure to check them out. Hit that subscribe button in the bottom right corner. Stay up to date with the video out every Sunday. Before I go, I just want to say a quick shout out to my sponsors, The Absolutely Magazine. Thank you for all your support, and be sure to check out my new article on page 127. Available now in all Waitrose and M&S stores. With that, check out my website www.capitalatrading.co.uk if you want to take your trading further.